How you guys doing out there? This is J.O.A.T.D. I just picked up this monster Moto. It has a 3 horsepower motor on it, but it's the smaller one. I think it's the 80 cc's. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna swap this out for this Honda GX160 motor. I'm gonna see what this entails. We actually have 2 of them. We have one here too, but this is the 105 cc's. That was a little faster. We already took the governor out of that one. We are going to take the governor out of the Honda GX160 motor, and we're going to take the oil sensor out. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing you want to do is you want to take loose this bracket that's holding the throttle cable. It's an 8mm. You don't have to take the bolt all the way out. You just need to loosen it enough. And then just pull it out. Alright, that's loose. Okay. Alright, the next thing you need to do is you need to take loose the start cable. This is the cable to start the motor. Gonna take that loose. Then you're gonna take loose this T30 bolt down here. Yours may be a 10mm, just depends. That's the ground cable. This is for to be able to start the bike, the on and off switch on the handlebars. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take loose the mounting bolts for the motor, mounts it to the mini bike. The top bolt is a 10mm. The bottom bolt is a 13mm. So I'm gonna put this up here, and then the bottom. Loosen it, and then go ahead and take it loose. That's the nut that's on the bottom. Make sure you get the lock washer and the regular washer, and just pull the bolt out. I like to put them together so you don't lose them. The next one, same thing. All right, now you're gonna take loose this second one. And you're gonna put your your wrench under for the 13mm. Same deal. Just pull the nut out. This one is longer. There's a adjustment lever under here so that you can tighten the chain. That's why this one's longer. Alright, the back bolts are in reverse order. The 13mm nut is on the top and the 10 is on the bottom. So you're gonna get your 10mm wrench. Stick it on there as much as you can get it. Take it loose. Take the bolt loose. Make sure you get the locking washer. Same thing. Washer, lock washer, bolt. Alright, same deal on the other side. Put your wrench on. Same deal. Alright, now that the motor's loose, you can take the chain off. Just pull the motor back a little bit. Take the chain off. Let it drop. And you can just pull the whole motor out. Alright guys, so we got the old motor off, and that's on the left, and now we're going to replace it with the Honda GX160 motor. Alright, so in order to put that motor on, we're going to have to take this mud guard off, because the motor pushes up against the mud guard. It's just a Phillips head. There's 3 of them, one here, one here, and one on the left side. Like I said, it's just a Phillips head screws. Whole thing comes off. Alright, you need to go ahead and take this screw out here. It's another Phillips head. You're taking this off. This is for the bottom part of the mud flap to hold it steady, but that's the bracket that's in the way, so you need to take that off too. All right, so let's get the motor in here. This motor is huge. I'm gonna have to slide it over just a little bit. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to drill new holes for it. Alright guys, so basically what we're gonna do here is we're gonna try to center up the motor, okay? Now, if you want this motor to sit more in the middle, you're gonna have to put the clutch on backwards so that the chain will be in the inside of the clutch. Alright, so now the clutch is backwards. Okay, so the new chain came in. Okay, for those of you that don't know what size chain to get, this is a number 35 chain. It goes on the Monster Moto mini bikes. I got a 5-foot chain, so it's 5 feet long. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna link this chain together on the sprocket. Alright, so we got a little excess, but we're gonna cut that off. Alright, so once you get the chain on, you're gonna pull the bike back a little bit so that the tires spin freely, and then you're gonna start trying to center the motor up. So to get the motor straight, you're gonna have to move the lines out the way, and you have to slide it up forward this. Try to get it as straight as you possibly can. Right this way. And what you want to do is, you want to see how straight this chain is. Okay. Now, once you realize that the sprocket and the chain is lined up as best as you can get it, you're going to cut the chain at the desired length. So right now I got the motor pulled all the way up and the tire all the way, the tire's already set back. So what you're going to do is the link, come right here, the link right here, this is the link you're going to take out, because the new link is going to go in between these two. So what you do is make sure it's right. Make sure you get as much tension as you can. That's a little loose. Hold on. Back up here. Keep making sure that the chain is, the motor is straight as much as you can get it. That should be that's a little, that's still too loose. I want a little bit more slack, so I'm gonna go back one. Right here, we're gonna push it all the way up. Straighten it as much as possible, push it all the way up. All right. That should be good enough. All right, so that's good enough. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this chain right here in this bend. I'm gonna use this tool right here. Open it up. This is called a chain breaker. Put it all the way through like that. And then what you do is you twist it down. You keep twisting until it pushes it out. All right, that's one. All right, so let's see if we can get this chain out. All right, so that's the part that we don't need. Let's see. It should be right. All right, so we got it. And what we're gonna do is get the link that came with it. All right, so this right here is the link. What you're gonna do is grab it by one side and right here. That'll take it off. So we got the link off. That's the lock. Now you want that to face the outside, so I'm going to go in from the inside out. Put one right there. That took too much off. All right, so we got it linked, right? And you're gonna put the lock, the outside on, and this link, since the tire turns this way, you want this to go with the tire. So this way, you don't want it to be backwards. You put it on this way. So you just slide it on. Alright, so you want to lock this link. Just get you a screwdriver and just push on it. There you go. So it's on there. This right here is the old chain. We don't need this one anymore. We use that as the backup just in case something else happens. Alright, now we got the chain on. Now what we're going to do is we're going to center this thing. As much as you possibly can. Alright guys, so I got the chain on, and I use this chain breaker that I normally use for my motorcycle to break the chain. And now what I'm doing is I'm putting on the clutch. I had to put the clutch on backwards. Normally the clutch is turned this way with the chain on the outside, but I had to do it backwards because I want the motor to sit more in the middle of the bike instead of off to the left. So I put it on backwards, and it has these little screws right here. I'll pull one out for you. It's two of them. These screws, they hold it in place. It already has a key built into it, and this just holds it from coming off. And you just turn them. It's one on the bottom right here, and there's one here. Make sure it's on, or pushed all the way on, and then just turn it. Put it in, give it a little snug turn. Same with the one on the bottom. Like that. So now that's on. Alright guys, so what we're going to do here is we're going to mark where these holes are so that we can drill these out, okay? I was going to use the spray paint method, but it was messy and it didn't work right. So what I did was I made this little tool out of a coat hanger, and I'm going to stick this in there and scratch it up. Alright, so I'm going to stick this in here, and we're going to just scratch it up. And I'm going to stick it in here. Scratch it up. Do this one again just to make sure. Alright, then we're going to go to the back. This is going to be a little harder because it's kind of tilted, but just stick it in there and scratch it up. And we're going to go on the other side. Right here. And we're going to do the same thing. hopefully that worked. And then we'll go ahead and take this off. The motor's already kind of moved out of place. Set this to the side. We'll move the motor and see if it worked. Alright, and you can see it. Right there, right there, right there, and right there. See it right there. Yep. And the one's right there. Other one's right here. Alright guys. So we're gonna go ahead and drill through here first. Try to get that centered up as best as you can. Alright guys, that's one. Then we're gonna put one here. Now, what I'm gonna do is make sure that the bolt can actually go through. Alright, that one's good. That one's good. That one's good. That one's good. Alright, so we're gonna put the motor back in. And we're gonna use the same bolts that came off of the old motor, which are these. That's one bolt. Just gonna put the bolt on, up on the bottom. Alright, that's one. Do this other one. That's two. Got that one. Then we got two more. I'm gonna do this one on this side right here first. That one's through. Move the motor over just a little bit. There we go. So that one's in too. So we got all the bolts in, and let's go ahead and put this nut up under the bottom. Alright, we got that one on. And then we have one more. This one. And there it is. Alright. So now we got the motor mounted, and we're gonna go ahead and put this back on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the chain on first. It's a little snug, so I'm gonna do this. Okay, that's on right. Now what I'm gonna do is find the length and take the link out and connect everything back together. So this is the link. I think that'll be the easier way to get this chain on. Okay, so we're gonna take this off. This is all the way on. All the way across. Put this on right here. Now I'm gonna have to get this as close as I can. Oh, there it is. It's already on. Alright, so that's the easier way to put it on. And we're gonna put the link back through. Side back on. And remember, these keys, these lock keys, the rounded part, you want it facing towards the front of the bike because the tire turns this way. So you want it to go this way so it doesn't come off. So like that. And all we do is just lock it on. And there we go. Look at that. Running good. And then after you get the chain on, get everything situated, you're gonna make sure this is pushed all the way in, get your lock, and tighten your clutch up. Okay, onto the shaft. And it's two of them, there's one under the bottom too. Actually, tighten this one. There we go. So we got both of those tight. And then get some Loctite. We're gonna put it on this screw right here. All right. Remember, washer, lock washer, bolt. Just gonna turn that in. All right. Now we're gonna tighten that down. Let's see what size this is. It's a 12, but we're gonna use this 1/2. Let's turn it down a little bit. Put it on 1. That should be good enough. So that's tight, okay? I'm gonna turn the tire a couple times just to make sure that the motor's straight and the tire's not gonna come off when I start the ride. Seems straight to me. All right, guys. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna link this throttle cable up. We're gonna go ahead and take off the air box. Now, this right here is the clamp. This right here is the clamp. And this right here holds the outside of the cable. Get a screwdriver, loosen this part up, and then loosen this up. You might have to use a small screwdriver because the seat's in the way. I'll just take the bolt out. So we're gonna run this through here and through this hole. Now, my hole on here is the right size because I drilled it out I drilled that hole out so that I wouldn't have to take off the part that stops the wire from coming loose. So I drilled a hole in it to make it bigger. Okay, so I'm gonna put the bolt back in. Okay, so we got that in, and I'm gonna tighten it a little bit. So take this 10 and hold it steady, then tighten it down. I know I'm kind of doing this at an angle, but it's pretty tight. And then now what we're gonna do is we're gonna adjust this portion of it, because we want this to pull all the way. So let's see how far I need this to be. So technically, pull this off. Let's see. About right there. There we go. It's pulling all the way. That's 100% pull. You see, I can push it all the way. It stops right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and turn this up to meet that, since it doesn't pull past it anyway. There we go. That's my motorcycle noise, if y'all wondering. Alright, so we got everything tightened down. This part is kind of hard because it's at an angle, but it's as tight as it's gonna get. And then we're gonna start putting everything back together. And that's it, guys. All right, guys. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up the start-stop function. The engine actually has one right here, but we're gonna use the one at the top. Let's see. What we want to do is, this is the wire for the start-stop on the handlebars. We're going to take this bolt, put it in right here, because you know earlier we deactivated the oil sensor that was inside the motor. So basically the black is going to be ground, so we're grounding that black one out. And this right here is power. So this is the switch for the start stop. If we unplug this and plug this into it all the way in there, that will kill the motor. And then you can either take this out or just cut this off or fold it up, whatever you want to do. Try to make it look clean. Now to see if it works, I'm going to leave this on off, and I'm going to turn the one on up here. The one up here, I'm going to turn it on, And we're going to get all of these dangerous things off the seat. The motor won't come off, so the screws are in it. They're just not tight. All right. So what we're gonna do is cut the gas on. Pull the bike back just a little bit so the tire doesn't hit. Open up the throttle. And we got it turned on. We're gonna get this bad boy pulled. Man, that's how you hook a motor up. This is J.O.A.T.D. We're gonna bolt everything down and we're out of here.